How to outsmart the older version of you? I know that this question might be there in your head for a very long period of time, and almost all of us might be in a situation where we want to become something new, something fresh, something more desirable, and we want to change the things that are present in us currently. And whenever we try to get rid of the older version of us, maybe we perform certain actions, we take certain steps towards becoming a newer version, but some way or the other we end up being in that same spiral of the older version. And in this video we'll be discussing how this older version is generated, how it is created, how it lives within you, and what are the ways with which you can get rid of this and instill a newer version of you, so that your entire experience of this world and this life is going to change just by changing the version of you, just by tuning into a different frequency. So let's get straight into the video. First, we should understand what is this older version. I want you guys to think of this older version as an entity, as a living entity in your head. So just like any other living entity, this older version of you, this entity wants to survive. So basically, the one basic thing that it wants to do is to continue living, is to continue surviving in your head. And just like we need food, water and air to survive, this older version, this older frequency wants to survive in the attention that you give. And now let's see why giving it attention continues it to stay and feeds it in some way so that it continues to survive in you. So the first thing is, wherever you give your attention to is where you give your energy to. You might have noticed, if you actually give attention to the problems in your life, then the problem seems to get bigger, it seems to get worse. But once you take away that attention, and once you give attention to the things that you are grateful of, that you are happy about, then you might see that things turn out pretty well. These problems might not seem as big as it is, as we thought it was. So similarly, this entity, this older version of you, needs and craves for your attention so that you give it the energy, your mental energy, and it survives with that mental energy. Another aspect of this older frequency, of this older version, is thought forms, is the thought patterns. Now let's understand what these thought forms are that the older version uses to stay in your head, to survive in your head. So the first thing is, this thought form is basically thoughts added with emotion is a thought form. And these thought forms are also an aid for this older frequency to survive in you. And how does this do? How does this older frequency uses the thought forms to survive? Generally, you might have noticed at some random moments when you are trying to do something new, when you are trying to get better at something, you might have certain experiences, certain memories from your past pop up in your head. And once it does, if it is a bad memory, bad experience, you will feel that emotion in your physical body just the way you felt when this experience happened. So now this thought that was just popping up in your head is added with an emotion, and now there is a loop of thought and emotion. This loop is going to make you feel the same way that you felt in your past, and if you feel the same way that you felt in the past, of course you are going to manifest and you are going to create the things that is very similar to the things that happened in the past, right? So I want you guys to understand the importance of this thought form initially, so that you will be able to understand how it is being used by this older version of you. This entity uses some thought from your past that makes you feel a certain way, and that way you feel and that thought is going to make you give attention to the older version of you so that it continues to stay. That is the reason why it is very hard for you to get rid of some things, some habits from your past. Let's say habits like self-doubt and low self-esteem issues and lower confidence, and anything that you say, it is very hard for you to get from this frequency to another frequency. It is just because the attention that it craves is so intense that you are unable to get rid of it. You are not aware what it actually needs. but now you are aware that this needs attention. So the more attention you give it, the more it will grow, the more it will sustain. Now let's talk about the newer version. This newer version actually consists of the things that you want in the most desirable version of yours. Let's say you were an underconfident person, you were not making so much money, and you were not good in some aspect of your life, but you are going to change all these things. You are going to be very confident, you are going to be outspoken, you are going to be charming, you are just going to be happy. This version of you is so new, and these are the factors, these are the aspects of the newer version of you. So once you are aware of the aspects that is going to be instilled in the newer version of you, you should start giving attention to these aspects alone. So just like I said, giving attention is giving energy to something, directing energy to something. Now, once you become conscious of the energy that you give mentally, you can direct this energy towards something that you actually want in your life, the version of you that actually you want. So these things that the newer version consists of, these aspects, these factors, once you give more attention to it, slowly it grows, it becomes stronger. Another thing also happens at the same time, simultaneously. The older version fades away, wards off, and this older version struggles, suffers. It tries all the things to grab your attention, because once you starve something, it becomes desperate. You need to be very aware of this. Write this down, because you need to be aware of this. If not, you will be getting into this older cycle again without being conscious of it. So once you starve something, it becomes desperate, and once something becomes desperate, you cannot judge or you cannot predict what it is going to do, because a desperate thing, a living entity, can do anything to survive. So basically it does anything that is very personal to you, that is very suitable to you individually. It takes some random events from your past, it makes you feel some random way that you felt in the past at random moments, and nobody can actually judge how this older version is going to behave, because it is so desperate to live, it is so desperate for your attention, so desperate for your energy, and you need to let go of the older frequency to step into the unknown, to step into this more desirable, to step into this newer frequency of yours. So once you are aware of all these all this struggle of the older frequency, you will feel bad, and this older frequency will try to make you doubt yourself. It will say, maybe it is not working out, maybe the thing that you are doing, the attention that you're giving towards something is not fruitful, it is not going to benefit you. What if it doesn't work out? So all these doubts are created just by the older frequency, so that you give it attention, you are aware of it, you are conscious of it, and it continues to stay. So once you give attention to something and there is some doubts arising in you, be aware it is the play of the older version of you. And once you feel bad at random moments, and once some bad events that pops up in your head, once you're trying to do something good, it is the older version of you trying to grab attention of yours. And it will all be solved, it will all be faded away once you are conscious about it. Once you are conscious about the play, it will be like you will laugh at the older version of you, because now you hold the power. It does not hold the power anymore. It is you, because you are the energy, you are the consciousness, you are the attention. And we can get into it deeper in the upcoming videos, the hermetic principles, how the real you, that is the spiritual you, the conscious you, is actually forming your entire life, creating your entire life. We will all be discussing that in the upcoming videos. But in this, at some point, after getting into this journey of becoming a newer version of yourself, you will laugh at the older version of yourself. You will laugh at yourself for being so hard on you, and for struggling so much, for suffering so much for no reason. You will be like, okay, I can be anything, I can be anything, I can do anything in this world. It is just the play of frequency. And one important aspect that you need to understand, why this older entity tries so bad, why it becomes so desperate, because it is linked to a universal law. That law states, let's put it this way, this law contains two M's. Okay, this basic universal law contains two M's. So the first M is magnify, the second M is maintain. So this universe magnifies the frequency that you are in right now, and it tries to maintain the frequency that you are right now. So this is to just maintain the equilibrium of the entire universe, and that is why this older version tries to make you fall into the trap, so that it does not want to deal with this change in frequency. All right, so the older version is already magnified, it is already being maintained for years. There is a change in frequency, there is a change in equilibrium. That is the reason why not just in your head you will feel all the doubt, all the stress, all the pressure, all the suffering. Even the things around you will turn worse. So people always say, it becomes worse before it becomes better. That is so true. It also goes on with this universal law. It also explains why it is, once you decide to do something great, once you start giving attention to something great, all the things around you, including the people, the events that you experience, all the things becomes worse, and you will be like, why is this happening to me? Now I have decided to change, I have decided to do something good in my life. Now why is everything turning worse? And if you were consistent and if you were mindful of this law of magnify and maintain, then you will be able to step ahead of it. You will be able to transcend, you will be able to ascend, like you will be able to rise above all these things. And one thing that you need to keep in mind is, if you do not control something in your life, technically you are being controlled by it. If you do not control your mind will control you. If you do not control your body will control you. If you do not control the things that are happening in your life, the things that are happening to you, then technically you are being controlled by the things that actually happens to you. And the more mindful you are, the more conscious you are about all these laws, the easier it gets for you to be stable and to be the desired version of yourself. And one important thing I want to tell you guys to be conscious of is, once you decide to change this version, become this newer version of you, especially you will feel this frequency shift, this frequency change, this change in equilibrium, especially from the people around you. All these people will start telling, oh, maybe you have changed, this is not the real you, this is not you, and we can see that you are becoming into a different person, and they will make you feel as if like that is a bad thing. Don't feel bad about it, because this is your life. You know what experiences you had in your life, you know how you felt, you know how you want to feel, the dreams that you have, and the struggles and the suffering that you went through. So you deserve to be a better version of you. As simple as that. And another thing that I want to tell you guys is, you cannot have something that you do not have already. So basically, you should respect yourself first. You should have self-respect so that you will be respected by people. You should feel happy within so that you find events that makes you happy externally, and you should have a good self-worth, so that this universe proves it to you. And it also goes on to another hermetic principle. I have also mentioned this in my previous videos. It is that the all is mind, the mind is all, and as above so below as above. So whatever is there within you, it is going to reflect in this world, it is going to reflect in this universe. And I just want you guys to be aware of it. I just don't want you guys to get into some fancy techniques of doing this, doing that, and anything that people say is going to help you to change everything in your life. Just get this straight into your head. You are the solution. You are the cure. You are the best technique that is ever created. You are the answer for everything. I want you guys to get this straight into your head. If not, again you will be controlled by the external events, by the things that are happening around you. There is no better technique and better thing, better energy than you. There is no, more beautiful thing than you. You are just perfect and you have everything that you want ever in your life within you. All the great emotions, all the great feelings, all the things that you want to feel in your life, it is all within you already, and you'll be able to see it only when you accept who you really are. Only when you accept this fact that everything is within you. Hope so this video has added some value to you, and that is the only reason, the intention behind this video. And in the next videos I'll be discussing about the law of magnify and maintain in detail, and this frequency shift, this quantum shift, how it applies in the quantum level, in a very bigger scale, all these things. But for now, I want you guys to feel good about yourself. Until the next video, I'll see you soon. Bye.